Good morning, Drew. I want to take a moment here and re-record the video we had done with your lesson, our first lesson we talked about here. So with a picture of you on the screen here, you can almost see it initially in the beginning what we talked about here was your stance. I know what we look to try to do, or what we try to find a little more in an athletic position. By that I mean, when we look from your tailbone to your neck, base of your neck, we see a little bit of a hunch here. 2, we see the arms coming in very close to the body on the inside. And in 3, because of the position that you're in, your weight can fluctuate from the heels to the balls of your feet. I want to have something a little bit more of a stable foundation, get you into that. So initially what we did here, we tried to get you in a little bit better position. So what I did is I scooted you back just a little bit, had you stand straight up, had you lean forward, flex your knees, bend from the waist, keeping the back as straight as possible, letting the arms hang natural. Getting the arms out a little bit far away from your body, as you can see in this case here. So what we see here is, quite frankly, is now the stance is a little more upright compared to being a little bit more bent over and over the top of it and crowding the ball here. Now it looks a little bit more of a basic or a little bit more fundamental position that you're in, rather than seeing something like we see on the right-hand side. Now from there, what we talked about here is we kind of briefly touched on your grip here, trying to get your position a little bit more consistent. Now what we talk about there is getting it into the fingers, letting the left hand wrap over, then getting that right hand and getting that that left thumb being in the lifeline of the right hand, so that fatty pad is right on top of that thumb there. So as you see, as you get in here, I kind of zoom in here and kind of see it here. But basically what we want to see is, I want you to be able to see, 1, the flap of the glove on your left hand, 1 knuckle. I want to see the V of your left hand pointing in between your chin and your right shoulder. And then you can see how that thumb goes right underneath that fatty pad of that thumb there. We want to keep that as consistent as possible, because we want the hands to rotate through together, not fighting one another as they go back and forth. All right, so as we look, and that's kind of by keeping that right hand over that fatty part of that right hand right here, over that left thumb. Try to ensure that, like we said, the hands are operating together and turning through time after time. Now, from there, what I gave you and what we talked about here was trying to give you a little bit more of what I call the waist-high drill. Now, the waist-high drill, as we look here and kind of watch here, is basically a simple rotation back and forth. We talked about ball position as well, and I'll review that just for a brief moment here. When you look at ball position, you can see 7-iron through pitching wedge sandwich tends to go more around the middle of your stance. What I like to see to be able, from that position, when you think about each golf club, the 7-iron is kind of that middle club. So we keep that in the middle of the stance. We keep it a good distance away where the weight's on the balls of our feet. We're in that stable foundation. But what we adjust from there is going to be the 8-iron, the 9-iron pitching wedge sandwich. We actually move closer to it because the club is a little bit shorter. So as we look here, like I said, that pitching wedge sandwich, getting a little bit closer to it there, but initially keeping around the middle of the stance. Now as we go with each longer club, the ball tends to go a ½ inch to the left. So you think the 6-iron being a ½ inch to the left, 5-iron being an inch to the left, 4-iron being an inch and a half. Driver, 3-wood going to be off this left heel to inside the left heel, maybe left big toe. We see this position here to here. Just as we look at it, is we see just a little bit longer club, and we got to allow that club to be able to turn through and make a proper swing at it. So we'll talk about that at another time here, but I'm going to try to give you some basics here as you come into this position. So when we look at this, though, what I did is initially set a ball up here just outside your right foot, maybe 10 to 12 inches back. And what I want you to do is I want you to use that left shoulder / left hand and push the club back. Take it right over the golf ball. And almost feel that position where that left shoulder is starting to hit the chin. Hands are just above waist high. Club then is up higher. Now when we see this here, we see a little bit of weight loading up on the right side. So from there then, I want you to feel that right elbow coming back down to the side, feel the weight transfer off the right-hand side and going to the left as we turn to that left-hand side. Much better position there, not too bad as we look in this case. Now, as we look from here, next position is from behind. And what you're going to see here is just a little bit Just feeling that position back and forth. Now, what do you think about here? And we look at this one here. Let me get these right out of the way here. But as you take the club back, like we said, this is a position more would like to see. Come back. You want to see a little bit of one piece rotation up, toe of the club pointing up to the sky here, like we see compared to when we look at your first golf swing. This is what you look like. You almost kind of just look like you're taking the club straight up with your hands. That's right here. And by taking it up just with your hands, what you tend to find, or what I tend to find, is that the club will be closed or shut as you're taking it up. You see it very upright with it here. Try to bring it back down, and you do really well. This is getting that right elbow on the side, and this is the move that I'm discussing here. When you said you had trouble with it at second lesson we talked about here. You said you had trouble trying to think about that right elbow coming to your side. But this is the move right there that I want you to do. You're a natural athlete coming into it, but getting that right elbow into the side is all we want you to do, down and through, and feel that turn down and through that shot. So 2 sets of 20 reps, no ball, just turning back and through. What I wanted to see with that. And then I did give you a say, well, if you do go out and hit some wiffle balls, I want it nice and smooth, taking it back. It should look something about like this. Here, down and through. Nice and smooth, nothing fast, nothing quick, but that's all I wanted to see. Now, if you have any questions, by all means, I want you to give me a call, 314-724-6539, or shoot me an email, michaelwyattgolf@